feel like I'm in Boyhood. Does anyone ever see that Richard Linklater film where the people really get old in real life? The Ethan Hawke and all that. It was great. I loved it. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about why Japan sometimes feels like I'm living in Pikmin in real life. Did anyone ever play Pikmin as a kid, as an adult? I played it when I was when I got a GameCube about 15, one of the first games I got, I think, when it came out. Loved it. Just really satisfying. Moving bits of these little spaceship around with these little Pikmin plants you grow. Wonderful, sort of Japanese. Only would have been invented in Japan, wouldn't it? And I've come to realise, I played a lot. I was a big Nintendo fan as a kid. Still a Nintendo fan, although not as sort of intensely. And when I was a kid, I loved playing Zelda and Mario, and particularly Zelda is evoked kind of, for me, obviously it's the other way around in real life, but for me it's like sometimes I'm walking around the countryside of Japan and it evokes Zelda and nostalgia for Zelda. Of course, it's the other way around, that Zelda was inspired in part by some of the aesthetics of Japan, but something about the little post boxes and the neatness and the beauty and it's an intangible thing, but it's very evocative of those games for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm Link walking around. It's cool. Now, Pikmin, the bugs of Japan. Some of them I'll miss, some of them I won't exactly miss them, but I'm talking again about things I'll maybe miss from Japan, or just things that I loved living here. One of them is seeing all these weird and wonderful bugs all the time that I look at. I go, what is that? That's mental. It's just this thing. There's these. I don't know what they are. There's these things flying around with like a giant sort of coloured tail. Looks a bit like a bee. It's not a bee. It's almost like a cross between a bee and a butterfly with a bit of dragonfly mixed in for good measure. It's crazy, and they're really big. The ones I'm less keen on are things like, the main one is cockroaches, horrible. And in my new house we seem to have flying cockroaches, which I didn't even know existed. They're even worse. I'm afraid I do kill them with an insecticide, because I can't be doing with them. So I was about to spray this one with my bug spray, and it just flew at me. It's like, what the? Didn't know you could do that. I mean, I knew they had wings, but I thought they were dormant. But not going to miss the cockroaches. Luckily, I haven't got too many of them in my new place. In my old place, it was rife. It was awful. They just moved in years ago, and there was nothing they could do. But the teacher that lived in there before me told me, it's like, just nothing you can do. Every summer they just crawl out. They're really almost indestructible, I think, cockroach infestations, cockroaches in general. So enough about cockroaches. Centipede, millipedes, giant, I haven't seen one of those giant ones. Apparently they're poisonous, those really giant, colourful millipedes, but I've seen. I was teaching a lesson last year, a couple of months after I moved here, and I just saw this huge thing slinking across behind my students. What is that? I just let it get on with it. I wasn't going to deal with that. It was a giant centipede. I'm not going to miss those, but I like seeing these little funny little buzzing bugs around. They remind me of Pikmin, like just doing their daily business, but I don't know what they are a lot of the time. I try and look them up and ask people. Some Japanese people haven't heard of them. They're like, what's that? It's hard to explain, I guess. It's hard to describe them. But I saw a bright green spider one. I asked my Japanese colleague She's like, I've never seen a bright green spider. It was fluorescent green when I was eating my lunch. But yeah, bugs in Japan. Look out for them if you come and visit Japan. They're pretty remarkable. Don't get stung by the giant hornet. Look out for them. There's nothing you can do, but just don't aggravate them. Once I thought one was chasing me, and I was running a bit, and I was like, that's not going to help. It could outrun me 500 miles an hour. So I just stopped, and it just ignored me eventually, but they're a bit terrifying. Apparently, it can be a bit dangerous if you get stung multiple times, but don't worry, don't let that put you off. Just life in Japan is great. You know, look out for the bugs. They remind you of Pikmin. If you're a Nintendo fan, it's like being in a... It's a bit kind of reductive, but anyway, it is fun wandering around bits of rural Japan, because if you played Nintendo as a kid, you kind of feel like you're in one of those games, and you probably have nostalgia for them, so it's quite cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Another reason to come to Japan if you haven't decided to come already. The bugs. Alright, just yeah, have a nice day everyone. I'm not going to say all that YouTube nonsense, but enjoy. Take care. Bye bye.